All right, today I want to talk about building wealth and kind of my investment methodology. I've covered this in other videos, but I really want to kind of give as detailed of an idea for kind of how I fund all of my activities and also just kind of fund everything that you see here on the channel and stuff. Now, I kind of divide my income in Eve into two different kind of camps, I guess it were. My main focus is actual passive income through trading, holding, and monitoring certain assets on the market, which I'll go over kind of my methodology with that. And I make enough from that to really kind of support all of my day-to-day operations, that and product discovery. This has allowed me to pretty much do whatever I want outside of station, anything I want on the undock, and it not really affect the monthly income or anything like that. But we're sitting in Jita right now on the main. I'll kind of go over what you're looking at here and give you a better idea. My goal and the takeaway from this video should get you thinking about how you can start having your ISK or having your assets start kind of working in your favor and freeing up the ability to go out there and just have fun and not worry strictly too much about ISK per hour and whatnot. So first up, like, some of my favorite ISK making things is obviously PI. PI has a learning curve. You have to kind of get it set up. Preferably do it in like Poshman or Wormhole or Nullsec or something. That way you have a good amount of income. Now you can do it in high sec. It's just a little bit of a slower process. You're gonna settle for like lower yield, but that is a good way to get actually some passive income kind of started. The other thing that I do is I market trade, and not talking about like swing trading or day trading. I'm talking about long-term investments. And some of these pay off, once or twice a year, but that's kind of my passive goal is like, it's kind of a long scope. It's a lot of stretch goals and stuff like that. My strategies have changed over the past year or so. I used to be really into skins, made good money on holding skins and things like that and selling them when the market was good for them. But I got out of skins, and when there was talk of like Skinner becoming what it is today. So thankfully I did get out of that. But like I've talked about in other videos, I don't hold raw ISK. What I do is I basically hold ISK just for the purpose of daily operations. So right now I'm holding like 500 million, which is not anything. Because the way I have it set up is my corporation is set to 100% tax. So all of my alts, when they do product discovery, all of that goes straight into the corp wallet. What that allows me to do is it allows me to basically funnel all that money into a single location, regardless of what alt I'm on. I can kind of take care of business, whether it be like buying skill books or buying a mining ship to do a video. A more recent example of this was when we started getting back into solo fleet mining. I actually used earnings from product discovery to buy a Hulk for that video. And just like this week, I'm gonna be doing some more Nubro fleet comps. So we're gonna be using these funds to buy retrievers and procurers and coveters and stuff like that. And this is a really important kind of line that I draw, is like product discovery pays for a lot of the assets you see in videos, and a lot of the things I use on a day-to-day basis. Now, my Plex wallet is a black hole. Once I actually convert stuff into Plex, it never comes out. I think I've sold Plex maybe once, but this is basically like just the black hole and the main contributor to my net worth goal. And I'll explain kind of how and when I actually kind of convert everything into Plex. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the items that I kind of look out for. Obviously, I'm always in the market for skill extractors. One of my major goals after being hitting a trillion is going to be getting this character to max skills. So that's a 2-year goal right there for getting to a trillion. So basically, over the next 24 months, I'm going to be slowly acquiring skill extractors. And you could call these are kind of Plex adjacent items. I also track Plex as well. and this is one of my main methods of holding on to long-term wealth. And then master cerebral accelerators, I'll hold these, and when the price is good, I will offload some and everything. And the large skill injectors, I kind of just track. I don't really buy these. More or less, I track them and compare them to the cost or the price of the extractor, figure out what the margin is, and that allows me to decide when and if I'm converting skill points basically into large skill injectors and stuff. But I'm not actually putting up buy orders for large skill injectors, but these are tied, like LSIs and skill extractors, they're tied, and you need to kind of track both to see what your profits are. For skill extractors, I try to, you see where these dips are? These are usually where sales occur, and this is usually where I come in on the market and try to buy a bunch of skill extractors when they're low like this, and when they're about to like kind of uptick a little bit. Like right now, they've been steadily climbing. Here recently, we had another sale right here, like that last 20% off sale and everything. I think that was, I don't remember what date that was, but you can pretty much track all these dips here to being like some sort of extractor sale on the web store side, because when they discount the extractors, people go onto the store, they swipe their credit card, the market gets flooded with these, so we have an abundance of them that drives the price down. That's usually when I enter the market and I grab them and I hold them. There's no really reason for me to hold the extractor itself long term, because I can just turn it into a large skill injector at any point, and then by tracking the large skill injector, I can decide if it's in a good healthy spot and decide if I want to sell. But also, I also just track all this stuff in a spreadsheet as well, and I kind of treat it a lot like the stock market. So instead of just doing like total cost, or like unit cost, quantity, total cost, and calculate all the broker stuff and everything, I break it down even further. So I usually hold assets for a long time. So just like with stocks, I'm usually trying to calculate a average cost per unit, kind of like an average cost per share. That way I know what I'm in for, I know what my position is, and I can better make a decision on when I need to sell based on the current market. So that's pretty simple to do. Like whenever, like for instance, if I was going to put up a buy order today for, I don't know, 25 large skill injectors, what I would do is I would put in the unit price that I'm buying them for, the quantity, and then I'd, my spreadsheet would calculate the broker fee for all that, and then I'd get a total. And the next time I buy skill extractors, I would make a new entry with the new per unit price, and then essentially that whole column, right, I would average out. And when I'm deciding to sell large skill injectors, I will look at my average unit cost, do the math, and figure out if it's good enough on profit. Now, large skill injectors are pretty flat, as you can tell. There's not a whole lot of movement on them. You can zoom all the way out and it's relatively, a flat line. They don't adjust too much. As you can tell, these extractors are controlled by those sales, and that's very important too. And same thing with Plex. Whenever you see dips on Plex, then like these little the volumes down here are good indicators of sales that are going on. Where the market is getting flooded with Plex, people are offloading it, it's driving the price down and stuff like that. That's usually when I'm buying Plex. So I buy skill extractors when they're on sale because high volume drives the price low. I usually wait for like day 1 or day 2 or day 3 of the sale for the market to really kind of adjust to it. Same with Plex. I try to wait for Plex to go on sale on the web store side, and then that's when I will make my move to basically convert assets over to Plex and then hold. So to give you a good example, go to my market orders. So the last completed market order we did was 8/7/24. We bought 1,500 Plex there. So August 8th or so, come down in here. So around this time. And the reason I bought it here was because it was relatively flat. You see, we were up and it came down and then it kind of plateaued a little bit, and it started to show trends of actually going up, which is where I actually bought at. So and it says, go back to my market orders here. So I bought it for about 5.1, almost 5.2 million per, and that's actually really good, because right now that was 1500 Plex. Right now it's sitting at like 5.4, 5.5. So I made a pretty good profit on that. And I don't, if somebody dropped like 10 billion on me right now, I would not convert it to Plex right now. I also probably wouldn't hold it in ISK. I'd probably try to figure out some asset to hold it in until I'm ready to move it into Plex, because we're on a kind of a climb right now, which is very important. Like utilizing the web sales, utilizing all that stuff to like wait for market saturation and then jump in at your position is a really good method. That's the thing, is I'm in a holding period right now. So I'm either in a holding period or I'm in a buying period. So the buying period, essentially the only thing I do in the buying period is liquidate assets into ISK and then turn that ISK into Plex. What triggers me moving into the buy phase is essentially the price of Plex. So I'm looking for a sale of Plex, 25% off, 20 off, something that is going to flood the market, drive the price down, wait a couple days, convert a bunch of assets into Plex, and then I'm done, right? I move back into like the holding phase where daily login rewards, all the rewards from product discovery on all my alts, all that stuff gets just stockpiled. Now, that's another reason why I actually build all of the pacifiers and the enforcers and the marshals that I get from the BPCs. Most of that has to do with the goal of hitting $1 trillion net worth. BPCs aren't calculated into net worth. So if we look at my net worth right now, you can see about 306 billion. But if you roll over here, you can see that it's updated every 12 hours, and it includes Plex and assets, but corporate assets and blueprints are excluded. So even though I can sell these BPCs on contract, they don't, by just holding the BPC, it doesn't actually reflect in my net worth. And also, I prefer to hold them in ship form, because when I see an opportunity to convert assets into Plex, I'm not in a situation where I have to post up the BPC, wait for somebody to buy it, then convert the ISK into Plex. I can essentially already have the pacifier made. If I'm ready to, pull the trigger and buy more Plex, then I can just sell it and, get it all done relatively quickly. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go and build these pacifiers. I'm going to show you how to do it. I don't bother, searching out, nullsec engineering complexes to do these. Like the profit margins on this stuff is so great that I build them in Jita. I hold them in Jita until they make me a ridiculous amount. And you'll see here too, like, let's go and look at the market for pacifiers. So you can see sell order about 346 million. I can go buy order on it for like 323. And then I'm adding all the materials to build into the multi-buy. So right now it'll cost me about 20 million, about 21 million for all of the materials to go into it. And then it'll cost me about 3 million to build. Only takes like an hour. So 25 million to build it, and then I profit. If I go buy order, I'm going to profit like a little bit less than 300 million on this. So I'm not going to sit there and go build it in a nullsec engineering complex and have to transport it out to Jita. I'm not going to like do any of that craziness. I'm going to build it here because I'm going to sell it here. So we have 2 BPCs, so I'm actually going to increase this to 2. So we'll be at 41, almost 42 million on that. And I just buy those. And then what we'll do is we're just going to start these jobs here. And I just kind of do this as I get them. I already have 2 right here built, and they kind of just hang out in that form. So we have those 2 pacifiers going. Once those guys pop out, then they'll actually actively be contributing to my net worth and my tracking for all that as well. A bunch of the other stuff that you see here in my item hold is essentially just login rewards, and also crates. I want to talk about crates a little bit for Project Discovery. The regular ISK rewards for Project Discovery is probably what facilitates 90% of the operational cost for everything that I do. But then, like, you also get those Pacifier BPCs and that Enforcer and that Marshal BPC, and then the biosecurity skins for all of those during that track. But you also get these superior flow crates. Once you reach 25, level 25, you start getting superior. You get regular flow ones if you're below 25, and they just have like one item option in there. Now, before, the flow crates only gave you the biosecurity skins and the chance for Plex. Not a lot of people know that. There is a chance to actually get 3 to 5, or actually it's 2 to 5 Plex when you open these. That's why they hold value. That's why they sell really well, because people buy them. They're, and they pretty much are just, it's like the lottery, like trying to, see if they get lucky. So let's look at the regular crates first. These I don't really hold on to for any certain reason, because I only get the regular ones when they're below 25. That's only like a few days after I start a new Project Discovery tune. But about 30,000 on buy order, about 145 on sell. And then if we actually cross compare that with the Superior, it goes up to like 300,000 per, and they're kind of even on both sides and everything. You also get nano coatings out of these now too. So these Insightful Azure and the Citizen Cyan, all that stuff comes out of these crates now. So if you get a Citizen Cyan out of one of these crates by opening it, then you potentially, got 8 to 16 million value, depending if you sell it on buy or you sell it on sell. So I hold these because I don't think it's really worth it selling them. What I do is I wait till I, get quite a few of them, and then we'll open them up and then kind of, sell whatever's comes out of them. But I think what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I don't normally hold the regular flow crates, so I think we're gonna open some of those. These are just like like I said, you get these if you're level 25 or below level 25. So as you can see here, we open it, we get one chance here, and you basically get the skins. Some of these skins can be worth it too. Like the Titan skins usually go for quite a bit and everything. But I usually try to clear these out, and then I usually sort the skins by value, save the Titan ones, save the carrier ones, the T3 cruiser ones. Some of the more popular ships will have a little bit higher value on this stuff. But the thing is, we're not really after the skins in these crates. And I've gotten Plex out of these things before. I don't think I've never gotten Plex out of the regular flow. I've gotten Plex out of the superior flow. And when you open one, you get 5 Plex. Feels pretty good. But now that we get nano coats, makes it a little bit better too. Just want to open these real quick, and then we'll also open a couple of the superiors, just so where you can see what nano. Hopefully, we'll get lucky. But these are just something that I'm doing on the weekends. If I'm doing things like trading, or a lot of what I do on the weekends is not in space kind of activities. I do trading. I do PI. And kind of admin or whatever. And then I got like 400 of these superiors, and that's just from like the past week of doing Product Discovery. So on the superiors, you get 2 options, so you'll get 2 skins per. If you get a nano coat, then it'll be one of these slots. So hopefully we'll see something. And then also I come down here and I kind of sort by reversed value. So we got Punisher skin. Nothing really crazy right now. But like I said, Citizen Cyan is kind of what we're after. And then potentially Plex. But it's also just kind of fun too, as well. And there's been times in the past where I've just sold every single one of them. But they're only like 300,000. Even at a high volume, it's not going to, make you rich or anything. But if you do pull quite a bit of Plex from opening them, that helps too, because that Plex just goes straight into the wallet. That's just good to go. You literally just did Product Discovery to earn ISK and earn a crate, and also got Plex out of it without having to ride the market or any of that stuff. Don't worry, I'm not going to open all these on camera. I'm just trying to go until we like you know, hit a nano coat or something, so you guys can kind of see. It is, you know, pretty rare to get them, but they do exist. And you might have to open like hundreds of these until you get Plex, but it's just one of those catch or stretch rewards that are possible. And I'm trying to, like, you know, record this video to show you guys that nano coats are in here, and then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna open so many of these and nothing's gonna show up, because that's just how the game is being spiteful right now. But I guess while we're opening these, you know, kind of talk a little bit more too. And it's like, that's probably one of the biggest, you know, this kind of like mindset in trading and PI and product discovery is what allows me to essentially do whatever I want outside of station for fun, right? It doesn't matter if I go 20 jumps to, you know, make 40 million mining rare ore sites. It doesn't matter. Like, that's, you know, kind of like just me and my experience going through the game and just kind of playing the game and enjoying it. The bulk of my income comes from doing really fun stuff, in my opinion, which is trading and things like that. And I think that's probably a lot of what new players don't understand, is you can kind of have like the business side and then also the fun side. Not everything that you do has to necessarily be, you know, strictly business. I have days where I don't mind at all. I'll just sit here in Jita and just kind of, you know, mess with the market. And that's, you know, that's why I preach so much about product discovery. It's so easy once you kind of get used to it. It's, you don't have to undock for it. It's straight to ISK wallet. You get these crates where you can potentially get, oh, there we go. Yeah. Insightful Azure Limited. So this superior crate would have been worth like 300k, but instead it is worth, we'll say buy order value 9 million. So we just increased our net worth by 9 million, and as you can tell, there's plenty of volume on the market. We can offload that pretty easily and everything. I'm probably gonna spend the rest of the day actually opening these. I still have like 3 more Omega tunes that I've got to run through product discovery for the day. Right now I'm doing 6 a day. I do them in sets of 3. So I have all 3 Omega accounts up. I do 15 submissions, and by the time I get to the third guy, the first guy's ready to go again. It takes an hour, and then I do that in the morning, the first 3, and then later in the day I'll do the last 3. That nets me around 120 million every single day, and also I get like, you know, 6 times 6 crates per day on those guys as well. And then as they progress up the reward track, then they unlock things like the Pacifier BPC and the Enforcer stuff, and then eventually the Marshal. And the Marshal is worth about 10 billion right now. And what I normally do is I buy all the mats for the Marshal, which will, you know, cost me a little bit more than a billion. So I profit about 9 billion on the Marshals, but I usually hold them anyway until it's like a solid 10. Like when I see them bump up past 10 billion on buy order, I'll sell them usually. But that's the other main motivation of doing product discovery, is like it takes like from a brand new character to getting that Marshal BPC, it's like 83 days. If you're doing it, you know, working that tune every single day. So it's not an immediate, you know, instant gratification. Oh, look at that. We did it on camera right there. 4 Plex. I was actually worried that we weren't going to actually see it, because it's all I think I probably have missed it a lot in the past by chain opening them. But 4 Plex, let's go. I'm actually really happy that we saw that on camera. Let's get some value to that. So let's go right now. Plex. Let's say we came in here and did a buy order for a competitive value. 5.3. We'll say 5.4. Not 54 million. And that was 4 on that. So that's like 21. Yeah. You round down to 5. So that's that 300k crate. If you would have bought that on the market, opened it, you made 20. What skin did we get? Magnate, whatever. But I'm actually really glad that I can confirm now on video that these things do have Plex in them. We've gotten Plex and we got nano coats. So Hopefully that just drives the point further home on that. I thought about actually saving these up and just opening these on live stream and just like, chatting with you guys, answering mining questions while opening this stuff. I know that sounds super boring to most Eve players, but like in my opinion, that would be a really, really chill live stream. Because a lot of what I do and a lot of the fun I have in this game is sitting here chilling in Jita. There we go. We got another nano coat. This is actually one that I guess I did have one. Actually, I didn't go over in the market. See what it's worth. It's not bad. It's one of the lower end ones. Panache. About 700k. We'd sell it for 1.8. That would probably be something we put throw on sell order if the value didn't come up. And the skin out of this one was not great. Let's go ahead and sort our little like skin collection down here. So we got Varger skin. Pacifier skin didn't come out of the crate. It comes off of the track, but Varger is worth 3.9 million. Actually, let's check market on that because sometimes estimated can be a little weird. We wouldn't sell it here. We sell it up here, so 3.6. So as you see, those skins add up after a while. I'm just like, I'm so motivated now. Now I just want to like sit here and open more of these and get see if we get more Plex. But I don't know. We might save up, like 1,000 of these and just do like a Jita live stream and just open them up and chill. But not to get too off track here. We'll open one more, and then we'll kind of close this out and everything. And then what I normally do here is if I got all these skins and if they're bothering me and I don't want to look at them like this, then I'll sell them. But I'm in a hold period, so I'm not really going to worry about selling any of this stuff right now. We're just going to kind of, hang on to it and, make good sell decisions down the road. But main takeaway, yeah, product discovery, don't sleep on it. If you want some passive income, you want to make some risk-free ISK, get into it, learn the ins and outs. And as you've seen in this video, those superior flow crates, Plex, nano coatings, skins, there's value there. There's money to be made with product discovery, and one of the main vehicles for my goal to getting to 1 trillion is product discovery. That's the major backbone of it. That and just holding on to Plex, buying it low and holding it and letting that value kind of jump up. And also sometimes, just like with everything, trading can be kind of lucky. Like even with these Imperial Golds, buying them for 35 million and then now they're worth over 100 million. I mean, sometimes you get lucky like that. So, and also I guess the other caveat too I need to cover too is like the reason I track skill extractors and I buy them when they're cheap is because I also do SP farming on my alts. So I have a ton of alts that sit in Jita. They have implants on and they just train. They just train skills. And like once a year, after I've accumulated a bunch of extractors, I pull a bunch of their skills out and either hold the large skill injectors for net worth or sell them, or whatever the goal is. I haven't done it in a while. The last extraction I did out of my alts, the large skill injectors actually went into building the newest solo mining tune that we're using right now. But once we do that again, which I'll probably do that on video so you can kind of see the process, those large skill injectors will probably end up just sitting in my item hold. They're going to be a really good asset to hold to kind of ride the market, ride inflation, and kind of help us with our net worth. SP farming is a very, very volatile thing. Right now, we're not really in the profits, but in order, and I've covered this in other videos too, to make skill point farming work, you essentially need to get the cheapest Omega you can possibly get, which is usually like the 24 month Omega. That's going to be your lowest per month Omega cost. Getting and then getting those guys trained up for Cybernetics 5, getting improved clones on them. Give you an idea what I'm talking about here. Augmentations, these improved clones. So ocular, filler, memory augmentation, all these add +5 to all the things. And then also remapping, whatever category of skill you're working on, make sure it matches your remap so you get the most out of it. So right now she's training rigging. She's getting 58.5 skill points a minute, which is really high. And she pretty much lives on cerebral accelerators. Because, like I said, my goal, one of my goals, the first goal is to hit 1 trillion. The second goal is to actually get all the skill points. And so I essentially have biology 5, which doubles the duration of cerebral accelerators. And so what I do is I basically give her, she is always running one of these. So every time that, you know, I'm able to buy the novice bundle, the master bundle, any of these that come with these accelerators, I buy them. And then that allows me to to kind of keep her at really maxed, really high SP per minute. I still have 2 specialist ones left. Once actually all of these are done, then we'll go and get the next one. So for instance, this one is 8 points for 8 days. So what we actually get with biology 5 is 16 days for 8 points. And we essentially have 32 more. We have about a month left for the accelerators that we have left right now. And she still has 221 hours on the one she's got now. That's just another strategy I'm doing to maximize her skill points, because her goal is ultimately training everything, which is going to also be expensive. But that's also a 2-year goal, and I've already started now buying extractors as they are cheap and things like that, because overall we're probably going to end up needing like 1,800 extractors, and when we're ready to max her out, right? And that's kind of like my win Eve moment. We're at the trillion, have every skill point, then it doesn't matter what I do or anything. But trying to get too wrapped up in skill point farming, it's a huge investment. Right now the market's not really favoring it, but also you gotta look at it long term. You're not going to be pulling SP out every single month. Legit, like I normally let my alts sit for like a year before I even pull skill points out of them, because during that year I'm just buying extractors for as cheap as possible, and then once a year just go in there and take everything out of them. That way I don't have to be worrying about it all the time. And also then I don't have to really worry about what the market's doing either, because I've already basically bought the extractors, and then I'm usually holding them anyway. And that's another benefit of actually having building wealth, is you're able to not be hurting, not you'll be able to kind of support your day-to-day activities, and so you're not forced to liquidate all the time, and you kind of sit on stuff until it favors you and everything. But wow, this video ended up being really super long. Hopefully you guys got some insight out of this. Main takeaway: passive income, let it fuel your fun. So product discovery, PI, which I've covered before in videos, SP farming, I've covered that too. Wouldn't really focus too much on that right now. Market's not really good for it at the moment, but it's something to think about. And then just, you know, watching that market, getting lucky, holding on to stuff for a long time, holding on to stuff until it favors you. Best advice I can give. If you're able to do that and you're able to build a, you know, a JITA docked kind of income stream, it doesn't matter what you do out in space. It doesn't matter what you lose. You can just have fun at that point. But the videos ran long enough. Peace out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Check out the Patreon page. We are currently trying to diversify away from being completely under Google's, you know, thumb. So also I'm all open to ideas on exclusive content so that we can do with Patreon and things like that. But with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.